Hi, my name's Josh Tynes, and this is my true story of how I am finding joy in the morning. I'll start my story back in 2019 of June. Self-employed for many years, as well as with a little bit of W-2 income. That means working for someone else. And I had a 2-year-old daughter. My son was just born June 9th of 2019. And I went to the gym thinking, I'm not sure when I'm going to have another opportunity to exercise. I should probably make the most of it. Because at that time, my children's mom, she was on bed rest, just having had the second child, and it was about 2 weeks after my son Josiah was born. So in the gym, I decided to do a little basketball as well. When I say gym, I mean the weight room. Playing a little bit of basketball, and usually my style of basketball is like Ray Allen. Set some screens, catch, shoot, stay on the perimeter for the most part. Very, very, very low maintenance. And when it came to that day, I was asked to run 3-on-3. Say, okay, well, I'll do that. I don't like 3-on-3 because then I have to work more. I don't get to just shoot threes or hang out somewhere and catch and shoot. But I was out of character and I decided to cross someone over. And after crossing them over, I remember hearing, ooh, from a couple people. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to do that again. This guy, he's a little bigger. He can't move too fast. I'm probably going to have an easy crossover again. So as I'm crossing him over, I feel this basketball hit me in the back of the leg really, really hard. And I'm like, man, there's about 5 dudes back there. I really don't want to have to fight. I think I'm going to have to fight. No, maybe I can de-escalate. And as I'm thinking this, I'm falling to the ground going, oh no, wait. I know what that is. Felt like an Achilles tendon rupture. This is around the time when DeMarcus Cousins, Kevin Durant, everybody was having the Achilles tendon rupture. And I was pretty sure that's what it was. I'm even talking to it. I'm talking to my Achilles tendon. I'm grabbing my ankle area. I'm like, no, not that, not that. Please, not that. Don't be that. Nope, don't be that. Anyway, I'm drenched in sweat. I can barely get to my vehicle. Someone helps me get there. And I end up driving home with my left foot using my family van. Now, I'm the firstborn. If you know anything about firstborns, we get it done. We put the weight of the world on our shoulders and we just keep going. So I'm trying not to be a burden. When I get home, I'm hopping the whole way. I'm literally drenched in sweat at this point in time. Not only was I playing basketball, but then there's also the adrenaline of what had just happened. So I'm drenched in sweat. I go in the bathroom. Actually, I enter the door, terrify my kid's mom and her friend that's there because they're like, what's wrong with you? It's like, I don't know, but I'm going to go to the hospital. Go to the bathroom, change my clothes. Excruciatingly painful just to move my leg in any motion whatsoever. Her friend gets me some crutches really quick from the Walgreens that's not too far away. And then I take an Uber to the emergency room. When I get there, I'm cramping up really, really bad. Like I can't move without a severe cramp in any part of my body that's moving. And as I'm out of the Uber trying to move, I just flagged down a nurse or anybody. He was in scrubs. I'm not sure what he was. Probably a nurse. He comes and says, hey, I need some help to get to the emergency room. I can't. I'm just cramping up. He gets me a wheelchair, wheels me back. He's asking what's going on. I tell him I felt a pop. I fell. Pretty sure it's Achilles tendon rupture. Okay. I'm going to the back. Once I get to the registration desk, hey, what's your name? What's going on? Pretty sure it's Achilles tendon rupture. This, and this happened. Okay. I wait quite a while. I get to triage. I get to the nurse. She's like, what's happening? What's going on? I felt a pop. I went down. This, pain here. Pretty sure it's Achilles tendon rupture. I'm telling everybody, Achilles tendon rupture. And then when I finally get seen in the back room, and the physician assistant comes out, not the doctor, but the physician assistant and the nurse on this one. The physician assistant goes, what makes you think you know? I'm like, well, it's my body. I'm an athlete. I'm coming from being an athlete. This is pretty simple anatomy, physiology here, buddy. I didn't say buddy. I was very respectful. And he goes, no, it's a calf strain. And he had done no exam at this point in time. It's like, okay, it's a calf strain. It's like, I felt this, and I felt that. I don't have any pain in my calf whatsoever. It's only down here where my Achilles tendon is. And he goes and he grabs the calf, and he not gently at all, just grabs the calf, grabs around where the rupture is, that I believe the rupture is, and he goes, "No, can you move your toe?" And I'm like, barely moving it. Like, oh yeah, it's not Achilles tendon rupture. If it's that, I'm gonna have to turn you upside down, and we have this whole machine and this procedure, and then we make your calf or your foot move for you. And he made it seem like it was this really big deal to test for an Achilles tendon rupture. It's like, okay, maybe this guy knows something I don't. Some brother from Haiti, physician assistant, maybe he's seen the worst of the worst and he knows something different. Okay. I'm like, listen, you're saying a calf strain. I don't have any pain in the calf, but how long is this going to take to heal? I don't know. Everyone's different. Everybody's body is different. What, 4 to 6 weeks? Like a normal break or a strain or something? Everybody's different. But if the pain increases, then just call us and come back. I say, okay, can I at least get a boot? Because I can't move my leg without it hurting. Oh, yeah, sure, we'll get you a boot. So after waiting, I don't know how long, an extremely long time, I finally get a boot. And the nurse Sam, I could tell she's not really too happy with the situation. Something's not sitting right with her. She gets me a boot and helps me put my leg in there, and it's excruciating. Like, I've got a high pain tolerance, and for the most part, I don't show it, but she could even tell something was up. I get my boot, I get home, and it hurts. I try to go without pain medication if I can, which is actually something that's stupid. I've learned that. But anyway, granted, over time, you don't want that stuff to stay on your kidneys. But you do need to allow your body the opportunity to rest and heal. So anyway, I get a script for pain meds. I have no intention of feeling it, but that night, it gets really bad. I'm like, I need to get something ASAP in the morning. The whole night when I'm laying on the couch with my leg propped up, my injured side of my foot or leg keeps like randomly doing this throughout the time that I'm sleeping. And it just wakes me up out of my sleep. It's excruciating. Okay. I call the next day, get the script filled, and I call the emergency department like, hey, I want to get in and kind of get this seen. Well, what insurance do you have? I had Medicaid share of costs. Now, Medicaid share of costs is just a fancy way of saying you've got a very, very high deductible before the state government kicks in to help you with anything. And the reason I had that is, quite frankly, because I was 1099, ignorant. Where's my other finger there? Ignorant and foolish. Oh, I can't afford it. Technically, maybe not, but there are other options. I was just uneducated on all the options available. So Medicaid share of costs. My children had Medicaid, children's Medicaid or emergency Medicaid, children's Medicaid. That's what it was. And the lady on the phone says, well, if you pay for yourself, then you run the risk of your children losing their coverage. I go, what? I know now that's not the case, but indulge me with the story as I continue. Okay, fine. I won't go get seen by a doctor because I don't want my kids to lose coverage. And I'll just tough this out. Like he said, it'll take a couple weeks. And if it feels worse, then I'll come in. So as time goes on and I'm taking the pain meds and I'm staying elevated, off and on ice and heat, I think, or off and on ice, whatever it was, now it's starting to feel less painful. It's still clearly injured, but it's feeling less painful. And over the course of, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks, I'm getting better. And I'm not feeling the pain. And I'm thinking, okay, busy season is around the corner. August, September, I'll be able to do or fulfill my contracts in the audiovisual industry. So as that time is approaching, I just feel like, you know what, I should get a second opinion. And I found this sports medicine doctor instead of just a random ER physician's assistant. He was out in Lake Nona. This sports medicine doctor seemed to have taken care of some pretty high-profile patients before. And I went in there saying, I'm self-pay. I don't have any insurance. I thought I was doing something wrong by lying. Turns out, Medicaid share of costs is just a deductible, in a sense. You are supposed to pay up until a certain point. And once you meet that obligation, you file with Medicaid share or Medicaid, and they say, all right, we're going to kick in to take care of everything else for the rest of the month. It's a month by month deductible style plan. Had nothing to do with my children's care, nothing to do with them not being covered or being covered. The lady knew absolutely nothing about what she was saying. So I'm waiting 6 to 8 weeks in a sense to get checked out. I think it's about the 8-week mark. And I'm in there. I'm like, yeah, I feel good. I feel better. There's no pain anymore. And the doctor's got a very irritated look on his face. And he's like, lay down. So now he does what's called the Thompson test. That test that determines if your Achilles tendon is ruptured or not. This test takes no equipment at all other than you laying on your stomach, putting your leg up like you're bending it, putting your heel to your butt, but just at a 90 degree. And they squeeze, imagine this is the calf. They squeeze on the calf to get the foot to move. And if it doesn't move, ding, 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 you've got an Achilles tendon rupture. So he gets me to lay down. He does that test and he goes, I'm going to do an ultrasound. I'm not going to charge you for it. And he does it. He goes, yep. He goes, my friend, there's nothing there. I go, what? What you mean there's nothing there? There's nothing there. And he shows me the image of where the Achilles tendon is and where it's supposed to be. This huge gap right here and this little string going to the other part of my calf. I was hanging on by a thread. Wasn't walking on it, wasn't anything. The pain was going down because the nerves were dying, not because I was getting better. So it's classified as a high-grade partial tear with severe tendinosis. The PA messed up. So after hearing this news, I immediately felt deflated. Like I'm pretty optimistic. I can take a punch and get back up. Metaphorically speaking, probably physically as well, but metaphorically speaking. But this time it was like, man, really, 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 really deflated. And I call the attorney that I worked with previously for a car accident case. And he's like, well, most people wouldn't take this case because it's not any money in it. It's really not a guaranteed win. But I know you, I remember you, and let's take a shot. And that's what we did. Man, how do I go from there? So then I have to get back and tell my kid's mom, hey, guess what? I'm not getting better at all, but we have to restart the process and I have to go see some real doctors. Excuse me. So during this process, I end up traveling, 43 minutes away just to go get seen within their network, thinking they'll make it better and kind of right their wrong. And during this time, I file a complaint. I get a call from the head of the emergency department, who apparently oversees this physician assistant who has absolutely nothing to do with the hospital. They're contracted in, vendor, some Florida health group or whatever, medicine, I don't know. But anyway, this guy's trying to cover his butt. And then I'm like, just fix it. Like, you guys coordinate with my care, like it'll get paid, just take care of it. Because the new doctor I'm seeing within that same umbrella goes, oh yeah, surgery, 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 you need surgery, surgery, guaranteed surgery. Like, he's already done his own x-rays, order MRI, he's like, surgery. But after cover your butt emergency doctor and my new doctor, I think, talk, because this emergency doctor had no idea who my current physician was. I guess HIPAA went that far and they don't get to talk or look at my file. But once I said that and told him the name, Maybe we should go non-surgical. Now I understand and know when you have an event like that and surgery is the remedy, it's an automatic payout because it shows harm. So he decides to, instead of do surgery, cast my foot down and let scar tissue fill in. So my ankle, my foot is pointed down, I've got a cast, and that's what actually is more appropriate for a senior citizen that isn't healthy. I'm 32 at the time, probably still very, very, very low body fat and strong. But they cast my foot down, and I'm still trying to make the best of it. I move into let me not be a burden mode, which a lot of firstborns and dads can relate to. So eventually, after healing and allowing my body to rest, as well as going to the rehab that they were recommending, I think around November, December of 2019, after I had canceled about 20 grand or more worth of work, and the word got out that I was injured, I found some call center job, working at a call center, not making much, but making enough to cover my student loan and whatever other debt bills that I had attached to my name. So I'm driving myself to and from work with my left foot, hopping out on my knee scooter or on my crutches. I think this time I was using crutches. Yeah. I'm just trying to not be a burden on my family, doing the best I can, working at night. It was about 3 p.m. to midnight was my shift. I get up in the morning. I take my kids to daycare. How? Well, it took a while, but I did it. I strapped my son on my chest, knee scooter with me on it, grabbed my daughter by her hand, and we're walking to the car. Once I get them in the van and situated, pick up the knee scooter, put it in, hop on one foot, or use my crutches to get right back to the front seat and take my kids to daycare. Doing everything I can. During this time, their mom is saying she doesn't have enough time to do it. She really can't do it, according to her. And she's done it a couple times, but she struggled to just get up and out on time. So as we're moving along, it's December of 2019. I'm making money. Again, a little bit to take care of bills. But then we get around February and something is just not right in the building because we moved from the training floor to the production floor. And now I'm starting to get this weird illness or response to the building. It's like, man, I feel dizzy. It's hard to breathe. And maybe I could just wear a mask at work. This is February of 2020. And I sit down with HR. I'm trying to be nice and help this lady out. She responds horribly and ignorantly. I say, hey, ma'am, I've only got 2 allergies. It's to hydrocodone and to mold. I've done a lot of studying on this. We don't have any mold. It's like, well, that's an ignorant response. I'm thinking this. I'm like, everybody has mold. Like, it's natural. It's in the air. It's about where it is, how much has accumulated, and what type. I say, hey, I'm trying to let you know these are my 2 allergies. And every time I come in here, it gets worse. When I leave, like literally leave the building, it gets better. So we don't have mold. We just paid a lot of money for. We don't have mold. It's like, okay, woman. Whatever. And she tries to make this whole big deal about it. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to help you out. And I'm trying to tell you what's going on because I'm noticing other people in the building just vomiting for no reason, seemingly. One lady says, yeah, I always have headaches here. And she just supplements that with ibuprofen. And then there's another person who just gets nosebleeds randomly. It's like, well, let me just wear a mask then. I'm going to try to do my best to make the best of the situation. I wear a mask. She sees me on the floor one day wearing a mask, and it sends, I guess, smoke all up her butt. And no, we can't do that. The looks of it and how it looks for people that would be coming in the office. They're even talking to the guys that are the supervisors on the floor with me, and they're like, yeah, I didn't like the way she handled that at all. Like, the way she responded was weird. I ain't like that. Anyway, the joke's on them because just a few months later, actually, maybe 1 month later, March or April is around that time frame, COVID happens and everybody has to wear a mask now, which is kind of some irony there. Nonetheless, I'm at home doing my best to take care of my kiddo. I actually just started walking unassisted at this time. My Without my crutches, I'm on my boot in February of 2020, and I'm starting to walk, and it's really painful to start just to move everything again. Fast forward to April of 2020, we're having a lot of issues, some normal, I would say, inside the marriage, but stuff is just weird and off, and I wasn't aware of what I'm aware of now. When their mom would come home and just go straight to bed, be in the bedroom, light or dark, mainly dark, and just be on the phone. Like just scrolling. It's like, huh. It's like, just go exercise. Go do something. Make yourself feel good. I know better now, and I'll get into that later in my story. But at some point, she goes, I just want things to be easier. I think I'm just going to take the kids and go to my parents. And I'm trying to just focus back in, hey, come on. Because my marriage vows are not only with her, but before God. In sickness and in health was what I said. So as that week is progressing, I think it was about a Thursday. My daughter, she's sick at this point with what seems to be a cold, but something's just not right. Really not right. And my daughter's not responding like normal. She looks like she's in a lot of distress and pain, just not comfortable. And I'm in her bedroom, I'm talking to her, reading, getting ready for bed, and then her nose just starts bleeding. It's like, yeah, no, we need to go now. And her mom talks me out of it in the sense of, I'll go. This is what she's saying. I'm better with this. I know this, and this because she practices acupuncture. It's like, okay. But I'm a team player. I'm the firstborn. I'm trying to make this work together. It's like, okay, you go. I'll take care of this. Give me a call. Update me. I get a call back. The reason she went back to the hospital was because my dad, who works in medicine, was like, no. Take her back to the hospital again because they failed to do a CBC and a CMP. They was, oh, she just needs some Tylenol or some Motrin. No, they failed to do the proper blood test, the basic standard of care. And when they did, I got a call from their mother, very hysteric. Something's wrong with Aviana. Something's very wrong with Aviana. And they're deciding whether to fly her to St. Pete, Johns Hopkins, or to take her by ambulance. It's like, oh, okay. So this is a first for me where I'm just like, I can't think, I can't plan, I don't know what my next step is, so I'm just crying out to God. And when I say crying, I'm not saying boo-hoo crying. I'm like crying out to God, laying prostrate on the floor, like, Lord, I don't know what to do right now. I'm gonna need you to tell me what to do. My mind is clouded. He was like, just rest, go in the morning. Because at night, this is about 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, maybe I should just stay up the whole time. Like, no, rest, pack your bag, go in the morning. And that's exactly what I did. So in the hospital, I'm staying bedside, I'm with my daughter, but this is also COVID time. So they only allow one parent in the room at a time. Very silly, I know, but that was what they did at the time. So I'm in there, and I went from Lord save my daughter to let her just turn 3, because 2 days later was her birthday, her third year birthday. This physician, she comes in, I think it's the day before her birthday, and that's when we get the diagnosis of pre-B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia. It's like, huh? It's like, my whole family been healthy. We never had leukemia. Like, what is this? Where does it come from? How does this happen? And that's when everything changed. So after the diagnosis, there's a team effort between myself, my kid's mom, and my dad, who's an experienced physician. All of our resources coming together, trying to do what we can to help Aviana. We had no time for a second opinion. There's no time for let's try to do this natural way, blah, blah, blah. We had to start chemo immediately. And mind you, at this time, my daughter, she's not in a coma, but she's not waking up. She's just out. And it was me and her for that whole year. I was bedside. Regardless of what anyone would try to say after the fact or pretend happened, the hospital records show, the medical records show, Dad was there every day. Because that was the plan. My kid's mom, she had recently had a new job started in 2018 after getting let go of her previous job with Walgreens. Now she's in this new career, new path, and I'm like, all right, I'm 1099 anyway. My industry is shut down, event technology, hospitality. It's shut down because of COVID. That would last for 2 years, 2.5. And I'm also recovering from Achilles tendon injury. Hey, I'll go to every appointment. I'll stay bedside. You can go to work. And that was the plan. So I'm going in with every resource and tool that I have. Not only supplements, but also prayer. Intercessory prayer, warfare prayer. And I don't just tell everybody or anybody to pray, because some people's prayers are hindered because of the lifestyle that they live and the way in which they don't have a relationship with God. So I tell very strategic people who pray and actually get results. It's like, hey, this is what's going on. I need your help. Fast forward some of that journey. I was there when Aviana opened up her eyes and she finally decided to eat. The first thing she wanted to eat was green peas. I remember it just like yesterday. She ate the green peas, and that's the only thing she would eat for a while. But she's starting to get better in a sense. It doesn't look like it yet, but she's faring better than all the other kids, and some of the doctors are mentioning that. Like, she's looking really good. And every time they come back, oh, she's going to lose her hair now. She's going to lose her hair now. Well, no, now it's like during the course of 5 months, she didn't lose her hair at all. And it almost seemed to infuriate like one or two of the physicians because, they're supposed to know and they're supposed to have the word. And sometimes people get a God complex because they think they have knowledge. Nonetheless, Aviana and I were going through every single chemo appointment, every trip, inpatient and outpatient. I'm holding it down while mom is doing what she needs to do at work. And then we're in 2020 now. It was about August of 2020. As I'm driving back from a chemo appointment, I've got both kids with me. My daughter's 3. My son is like 1.5 at this time. No, he's about 2. We're driving back on 275 going north, and my vehicle dies. I hear a bang and a pop at the same time. It's like, whoa, what's that? Now, mind you, this is where God's hand and protection is at. I'm driving 275. There's cars on both sides. But when I hear the bang and the pop, I'm looking for a safe way to get off and get over. No cars. It's like, cool. So I go over. This is around exit 30. And at this time, there were 3 options. It was this way, straight, and then that way. And I'm like, I don't know which way to go. Lord, I'm going to need you to guide me. And I felt just go right, go right. So the right was exit 30. And as I'm getting on the ramp to go right, the power steering goes out. Now, this is why I work out. For situations like this, being able to take care of myself and my family, not specifically training for a car or power steering to go out, but just to be able to use the body that God's given me to the fullest ability when I need to use it. So power steering goes out, and now I am just all of my muscle trying to turn this steering wheel as we're going off the ramp. Mind you, the acceleration has stopped. I cannot accelerate. Everything is residual power, residual speed at this point. And I get to this stoplight, and it's a 4-way stop, and all the cars have a red light. All the cars have a red light. So the right turning lane is wide open for me. I blow through the light, I turned right, and I just so happened to stop at a fire station.